So here I'm using a GoPro Hero 5 with a Feiyu G5 gimbal, and that's attached to a GoPro backpack, so I'm hands free. And I don't know what's going on with my GoPro, but I set it to Pro Tunes, and it just looks totally different to how it normally looks. This is the flat setting, and when I try and grade it, it still doesn't look right, so I'm changing to black and white. So this is my local area in lockdown. It's pretty quiet. You can see that the gimbal is slightly twitchy, but I've had this problem before with the Feiyu G5. I may need to strengthen the motor in the settings. The GoPro's set on wide view 2.7K. Going up the local roads, it's pretty quiet. So this is my electric bike. Top speed on a good day 20 mile an hour, but normally I don't go much faster than 12 mile an hour. So I'm heading to a forested area, which I'm quite lucky I live quite close to. This is the first time I've been out properly for about 5 days, so this is my 1 hour of exercise that we're allowed. The thing about an electric bike, you can still get exercise with it. It's just not quite so hard. The weather is pretty cool, not much more than 9 degrees. It's just about bearable. I think on the next run I'm going to use basic GoPro settings. Possibly in Pro Tunes, it's either Pro Tunes on or Pro Tunes off, and there's no way to have a halfway system. I also had no audio coming out because I forgot to turn the audio on, so that's why I've got to do some commentating. You've got to keep your social distance even when you're outside, so I try to go around people by at least 2 meters. So there's not much going on. There's a few people out exercising. So my e-bike battery has got a full charge, so I can normally do 20 to 30 miles on a single charge. So there's somebody going by on an electric scooter. Coming towards some cheese houses, a weird design of the 70s. We're nearly into the forest area. The weather's been pretty dry recently, so all the paths are fully dried out. Just a small areas of wet, muddy patches, but it's really been dry. Hardly any rain for the past few weeks, and not particularly warm. I'm going to do a left turn here by the side of a golf course, which is now closed. There's a few dog walkers around. pretty dry. It's very dry because normally this area would be completely caked up in mud, but it's bone dry. Coming around to do a right hand turn in a minute. We're going a little bit off road. So my plan to film the full moon party in April was cancelled, but I actually cancelled the trip before any of this business started happening. The main reason I cancelled the trip was the prices of the flights in April was absolutely through the roof. Emirates was charging over £900 to go in April, which is one of the busiest times of the year, around Easter. So a few months ago I decided just to cancel the whole trip and leave it till November. So I won't be filming any full moon party, and in fact the full moon party has obviously been cancelled now. This is going to be the second full moon party that's cancelled, coming up around about the 10th of April. And a few weeks ago about a week ago I checked the prices on Emirates return to Bangkok, and the price had dropped right down to just over £400. But obviously now it's impossible to travel. Thailand has basically blocked all flights, and I do believe all foreigners are banned from Thailand at the moment. So there would have been no way to go anyway, even with the drop in price. I think Emirates are still doing a skeleton schedule to get people home, but at the moment everything's cancelled, and let's just hope it's going to be sorted out in the next few months. In Thailand the cases are rising much slower than in my country, which is a good thing. Who knows why? It could be the extreme temperatures. It could be the lockdown working and the fact that most people are wearing face masks. But in the UK, hardly anybody has been wearing face masks until now. It's probably too late. This is the local golf course, which is closed, and a few people walking around. Again, I'm very lucky to live in an area where you can get to this kind of isolated countryside. So the e-bike's got no problem going up this hill. Up towards one of the main motorways, which is normally really busy, the M23. We'll see how busy it is any minute now. Few groups, family groups, which is allowed at the moment. but you're not allowed to meet up. You shouldn't be meeting up with people, friends, at all, outside or inside. So here's a bridge over one of the main highways, the M23. Pretty quiet, although it's busier than I thought it would be. These probably essential workers travelling. This beautiful forest area is very isolated. Going around the gate that allows just horses into the area. I used to fly around here on a motocross bike. There's still a way of getting it through. This has got some good mountain bike tracks in this area. People have made. If you veer off into the forest, there's some really good tracks. Pretty dry, surprisingly dry. Got a few dog walkers. Very bumpy. This clearing on the coming up is for the electricity pylons to stop fire. It's like a fire break as well. Pretty steep. Two-metre wall, try. So the weather in the next few weeks, we're looking at getting a bit warmer, because so far this month it's been very, very cool. March, hardly any growth in the trees, or hardly any growth in the trees or anything. Coming down towards a railway track, but I'm gonna hook a right and go up a really steep hill. Bone dry. looking alright. It's a really steep hill, and my chain has just come off. It's really struggling now. I think I eventually get off because it's pushing the electric system too much. Yeah, this part here. Yeah, I just get off now and walk with it. And the chain comes off again. I need to do a complete overhaul of my chain and the rear cog. But at the moment, with eBay or Amazon, deliveries are pretty much impossible. So all that's going to have to wait for at least a few months by the look of it. Shopping is pretty much a nightmare at the moment. Any big, large, out of town stores have got huge queues of people, all separated by about 5 meters, so the queue is up to 1 kilometre long. So I've given up with those type of shopping centres, and they just go to your local. At least there's no queue. It's slightly more expensive, but at least they have got some stock. So basically I won't be shopping at any large department out of town superstores for the next few months. This is a bike path, but I've decided to cancel that plan and just go back round. Slightly lost. Trying to find my way up to the top of a hill where there's a large path heading back down. Back in 1987, this area was completely destroyed by a really bad storm. Winds over 100 mile an hour completely wiped out this area. Most of this growth is from after that period. Here's the main. No, it's another clearing. Here we are coming up to the main clearing. And that's pretty much the end of my 1 hour exercise. So stay safe, stay home, and keep your hands washed. And enjoy your 1 hour of exercise outside.